Good evening and welcome to day 14 of the International Great Black Read Aloud Day 2025 version. My name is LD Robinson and I am your reader for tonight. We are crossing time zones for this very special day. Um, we have missed a few days and we certainly did not want to miss today. We'll be making up those days as promised and we're excited about tonight. And so we have a great read for you, and we're going to get started. Our selection for today is Key Lime Pie by Bloss, and this is for day 14, Love and Romance. It's a rom com, and I'm going to put up our, hopefully, you'll be able to see it, our cover. And here's our cover, which you can't see. So I'm going to bring this down another way, which I figured because of the virtual background here. Let me see. Yeah, we'll put it up. We'll show it a little bit later. Okay. Let's keep with our reading. Let's stay a little bit on track here. Okay. Well, we're going to read, and we want to remind you that you can follow us online at Black Read Aloud. And we're going to go ahead and put up our title for today, which is Key Lime Pie by Bloss. It's a friends to lovers romantic comedy. And we're going to read from chapter 1 and chapter 4. I stared at the empty canvas, hoping something would appear, anything at this point. Maybe my brush would draw up a piece that would rival the greats. Pictures of millions of people Picture millions of people flocking into DC to stand around my painting in the National Gallery of Art, wondering why I chose to use a dabbing technique for one eye, but a traditional stroke for the other. Or you can simply go into the ever-growing pile in my closet. I'm sure this piece would love to sit pretty with its 27 half-done cousins. The silence in my apartment is interrupted by my phone vibrating against my coffee table, causing me to come out of my daze. I stepped off of my leather bar stool to walk over and pick up the phone. I glanced at the screen. Micah. A text, then another, and another. My first instinct was to ignore him. I'd promised myself a quiet day to figure out the theme of my next gallery show that was happening in less than a month, but the sheer volume of messages made me curious. I sighed, putting down the paintbrush and unlocking my phone. Micah. Disaster. Micah, everything is messed up. Micah, are you even seeing this? I typed back, me. Seeing what? Calm down. Breathe. His response was instantaneous. A phone call. I rolled my eyes but picked up. What's the emergency? Did you accidentally post your news again? Or lose some sports bet? Please tell me it's not about Fluffy eating your last cookie again. Micah sucked his teeth. I wish. His voice had an edge I'd learned to recognize back in college. Anytime he was stressed, his voice would change to this tone. I learned to tune it out, especially before a major exam. The Miami trip is dead, gone, just like LeBron's hairline. Oh no, I said flatly. The humanity. I'm serious, Mia. You don't understand. This was supposed to be my annual recharge, my escape from work and other responsibilities, and now? I said as I walked into the kitchen to wash my hands. My fingers grabbed my favorite clear tumbler out of the cabinet with a quickness. A soothing drink was needed when dealing with a stressed Micah. After gathering all of my items, I did a mental check. Straw? Check. Ice? Check. Tea? Check. Am I ready to deal with whatever comes out of his mouth? Check for now. I pinched the hibiscus and chamomile tea leaves into the K-cup. With a press of a button, I would have the main tool I needed to tackle this problem head first. He exhaled. All of a sudden, everyone has different plans. Jaden's wife is in labor. Tim's company has him flying to Singapore. Trevor, well, what happened with Trevor? He's claiming a work obligation, but I think he's just flaking on this move. I see, I said as I grabbed my tea as the last drop dripped into the cup. The tangy aroma tickled my nose and my mouth started to water. I swirled the straw around the tea and ice and reminded myself I needed to get a cold brew machine in the future, as if I would remember. I walked back to my coveted orange cloud shaped couch, a gift from my artist friend Luna Fire, which appeared in the July edition of Architectural Digest. I plopped down ready to listen to the rest of his story. You don't see. Look, I planned everything and no one is coming. Now you see how this is a disaster? I leaned back onto my couch, waiting for him to get to the inevitable point. I need you, Mia. The words hung in the air for a minute. I could feel their weight, but I wasn't about to let him off easily. Micah, do you realize I'm not one of the guys, right? Let me repeat that. Micah, you do realize I'm not one of the guys, right? That's irrelevant. Is it? Completely. Look, you're fun, you're easy to travel with, and you owe me. I laughed, quickly going through my mental library of IOUs. I knew I had one for Tanisha for picking out the best last minute birthday gift for my niece a year ago, and one for Jada for letting me borrow her car a few weeks back to visit a vineyard 3 hours away for inspiration, but nothing was coming up from Micah. Owe you? For what exactly? I said. For saving your sorry butt during that Colorado ski trip. When you Colorado. Wow, that was a moment. I remember the day he called and asked to plan a ski trip right after Halloween. I had begged him to take me when we were in college, and he was not having it. Rookies shouldn't ski with me, was his excuse. A few years ago, he had a change of heart and came all the way to Maryland to make sure I would get on the plane for the trip. I boasted about how I wasn't afraid and how quick of a learner I was, but once there, I was deathly afraid of stepping on a ski slope. It took every ounce of his charm to convince me it was a good idea to even put on the skis. That first day on the bunny slope was humiliating and hilarious at the same time. While 5-year-olds glided past me, I spent most of my time on the ground, looking into the sky, rethinking my life. But Michael was always there to pick me up. He would say, "You got this. You could be the Serena of the slopes." Even though it had been hours since we started, and I could barely slide in those skis without tumbling over. I was a bit impatient and wanted Micah to enjoy the ski trip too, so I insisted that we go on one of the blue slopes. The ones for those that knew how to ski but weren't crazy to go on the black slopes, reserved for thrill seeking experts. Bad idea. One moment I was right beside Micah, and the next I was wrapped up in orange safety netting. It took 5 people and what felt like forever to get me out. Micah couldn't stop laughing, but I was panicking the whole entire time. But I was panicking the entire time. I thought I would never make it out. Okay, okay, I get it, I said, as I remember that awful event. But Miami, Micah? That's your thing. What am I going to do while you're off doing, I don't know, whatever it is you do on these trips? There's no I in us. It's whatever we do now, he said, his voice taking on a persuasive tone he always uses to reel me in into his shenanigans. Jet skiing, people watching, hitting the best clubs in South Beach. And if you don't like any of that, I'm open to suggestions. You know, a little art, some culture. I know as an artist, you would like that. I laughed. Right. You also know that's where friendships go to die. Nah, we're too grown for that. We're not some spring breakers who are pulling up in a U-Haul to sleep in. Listen, I know you need a break as much as I do. When's the last time you've been on a plane? Those last words hit closer to home than I cared to admit. My last vacation had been, what, 2 years ago? I glanced over at the empty canvas on the other side of my apartment. The cream-colored piece stood in stark contrast to my emerald green accent wall. Maybe this trip could bring me some inspiration. You're really serious about this? I asked. Dead serious, Michael said. I've got the room, the itinerary, everything. All you have to do is show up. I hesitated, mentally running through the pros and cons. Yes, inspiration was there, but what if I came back with nothing? But truthfully, a part of me was intrigued. Micah did get on my nerves sometimes, but he also made everything an adventure. I don't know, I said, looking at my bunny rabbit slippers as I moved my legs in and out, making him wait for my official response. Look, I'll even sweeten the deal, he said. I'll pay for your flight. Just the thing I wanted to hear. Fine, I heard myself saying as I shot up off the couch. I'll come, but if you drag me to some strip club, you'll what? His voice filled with joy after I had said yes. Nothing, you know I only make empty threats. Micah laughed. Yeah, I know. Hurry up and get packed. Your flight leaves at 2:15. I looked up at the clock on my wall. It was a marbled green and gold clock too I received as a gift for my 27th birthday. The clock contains only words that read, a quarter after 10. What? I said. Hurry up. You're going to miss your flight if we stay on the phone. The phone call abruptly ended. I called back, waiting for him to pick up, but he sent a text message instead. Micah, too late, you agreed to the terms and conditions. The next text was my boarding pass. Micah, hopefully I spelled your name right. Let me know ASAP if it's wrong. I stared at my phone for another minute before the realization hit me. Before the end of the night, I would be in Miami. And then we're going to chapter 4. Are you going to take a shower first, or am I? Micah said as I eased my way into the linen chair. I'll let you go first. It'll take me longer to get ready. You should know this by now. Micah shrugged his shoulders. Didn't want to be rude. Since when? I laughed, pulling out my phone to finally reply to the messages from Naomi. She'd been blowing up my phone since this morning with suggestions on how to make a move on Micah. I can be a gentleman when I want to, he said, heading to the bathroom. Then he paused in the doorway, turning back with a mischievous grin. By the way, I'm going to pick out your outfit for the party tonight. Party? I sat up straighter. I thought we were just walking around to see Miami at night. There's no way I'm leaving Miami without stepping foot in one party, he said, as he started to feel on his beard. It's a low-key private party, and I got us a table so you don't have to stand around looking lost. He chuckled as he walked into the bathroom and slid the door shut. I flopped back in the chair with a groan. Leave it to Micah to drag us into a sea of people with loud music and call it fun. He knows I'm a recluse, preferring the company of friends to strangers. The shower started running, and I could hear him clearly singing Mariah Carey's Hero off key. It's his favorite song to perform at karaoke after seeing an old video of Rihanna performing it at a talent show. I hope this party does not include a mic he can touch. I get up to grab my suitcase out of the closet. As I rummage through it, I am mentally putting together outfits I can wear. A slow panic sweeps over me when I realize I don't have anything that doesn't qualify as party wear in my suitcase. I hold up my beige strappy sandals and start to think of ideas in my head. 5 seconds after placing the shoes down, I heard the bathroom door slide open. Michael walked out, only covering his lower body with a towel, a blank stare on his face. You're supposed to use the towel to dry yourself, I said, watching the puddles of water become bigger on the floor. I had a feeling you were disobeying me, even though I said I was picking out your outfit, he said while his blank stare turned into a disapproving look. Disobeying? Okay, fine. I'll listen, but only because I didn't pack anything for a party, I said, tossing clothes back into my suitcase. Michael walked over to the closet, water still dripping from his beard onto his shoulders, his hands clinging to his towel while he pulled his suitcase out. Stop making a mess on my bed. I bought you something already. I bet your na- I bet you Naomi didn't see this coming. I paused mid-throw, a white halter top dangling from my hand. How did you? You always text her when you need advice. Don't think I don't know. He pushed his suitcase towards me. Open it. It's the garment bag on top. I need to finish my shower. Michael walked back into the bathroom while I opened his suitcase. Inside on the very top was a pink garment bag, and my excitement rose 1,000 levels. Nervously, I unzipped the bag and laid it on the bed. I did my happy dance as I looked at the dress. It was a tight knit crochet dress I'd been eyeing from one of my favorite designers. High demand forced everyone to wait in a virtual line, and my place in line coincided with the time I had for a presentation. I reached out to my friends mm, and family to buy it for me, but everyone was too busy to wait. I even posted on Instagram for someone to help me. I was down bad. I knew it would be sold out later, so I tried everything. I didn't think anyone was paying attention. Walking to the mirror, I held the dress up to me. The peach colored dress complemented my skin well, and I was anxious if the deep cut in the front would reveal too much. The maxi length was perfect, as it stopped right above my feet. The only thing I was now nervous about was if he got the right size. I checked the tag, a medium. I let out a sigh of relief. The familiar swoosh sound came from behind me as I heard Michael walk into the room. I changed my focus from the dress to the man behind me who stood shirtless in well-fitting blue jeans. "You've been cyber stalking me," I said, as I turned around with the dress lying across my front. "If that's what you want to call it," he said as he shrugged and sat on the bed. "Thank you," I said while grabbing my shower caddy. "No problem. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and whatever other holiday I'm forgetting." "You're forgetting to clean up your mess," I said while pointing to the puddles of water still on the floor. Michael peeled off a shirt out of his suitcase. "Yeah, I'll figure that out. Hurry up so we can go." That is our from our selection tonight. Love and Romance, a little bit of the beginning of the rom-com by Bloss. Um, Key Lime Pie is the name of the book, and it is a little bit of love and romance. We thought we'd go a little different route. Normally, we read something around somewhat serious around the topic of love and romance on this day, but we thought we'd read just a little bit from a novel today, and so we hope you enjoyed it. Um, we do want to remind you of everything that we have going here at Tig Brad. And one of those things is that if you share a post, you will be entered into, if you share one of our streams, you will be entered into a contest to win a t-shirt. One of 10 we will be drawing on Saturday, March the 1st. And you have to tag us, Tig Brad 2025, and we will enter in. We'll pull 10 and we'll send you your shirt after we get your size. We want to remind you as well that you can subscribe to our partner in literacy, which is Fresh Book Festivals. And I'm going to go ahead and put up our sign here, our promo. As you can see, a year in literacy. It is the 9th annual Fresh Book Film Festival, and it is the 14th annual Fresh Book Film Festival. Both will be held in Daytona Beach, Florida. We've got some great headliners, and we want you to join our 14th annual Fresh Book Festival in Daytona Beach. The film festival will be held at the Museum of Arts and Sciences, so go ahead and get your tickets online at freshbookfestivals.net. Let's get it sold out. We've got two great films. We've got Meet the Snows as our feature film, and we have a short film as our intro. And so we want to remind you to go ahead and sign up and go to Fresh Book Festivals and get your tickets. And we'll talk a little bit more about that most likely tomorrow. Okay? Well, we hope that you have enjoyed today, and we will see you again tomorrow on the International Great Black Read Aloud Day 2025. Today has been love and romance. A little bit of love, a little bit of romance, a little bit of beginning of a romance. Things go pretty interesting with Mia and Micah. And so go ahead and go out there and get a copy of Key Lime Pie by Bloss and see what goes down in Miami. All right. We will talk to you tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Get some rest. I'm going to get some rest. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.